Hey you guys, Nathan back with another video. I have today, and when I got this box, the first thing that came to mind was, it finally came! Which is, you know, the quote from Toy Story, and when Sid gets, I forget if it's his rocket, I think it is his rocket he gets, but he's just so excited about it. This is me today. That's me today. So this is from GMV, which is Great Video Maker. So, kind of an interesting name here, but this company sells some really awesome video lighting equipment and different broadcast house they use this stuff, and I ended up finding a great deal on this during the Prime Day, and there were some great deals. I bought one that had a 2 light set for like $205, but then I went to the GVM website and I actually found a better deal where for just $10 more I was able to get a 3rd light with this kit. So I am super stoked for that. So I'm going to be unboxing it today to show you guys. And the reason why is because this light will help me with whether it's photography or for video or just in general purposes. I think this is going to make my ability to make high quality content so much better. Also, it will help me be able to have more freedom when I'm making content, because then if it's 10 o'clock at night, or maybe I get home from work and I'm ready to make my video or to finish a certain project, then I will be able to just turn these lights on, set them to where they need to be, and I'll be able to get them going. Also, because I have 3, that means I could have 1, 2 kind of set up all the time with my normal setup, whether it's this setup or with my desk on the other side of the room. But then I could have one that's kind of a floater that I could use for different things. So this is kind of my first major purchase in the video lighting sector, and to put $215 into your lighting equipment definitely does say, hey, this is something that I really want to make, whether a priority or just wanting to make content better. They also have batteries and things that you can buy separately. There's some kits that include the batteries, but for me, I opted not to get the batteries right off the bat. And I'm sorry this table is moving for you guys. I gotta put some weights down here. This is a trainer table from some old projects I used to do, which worked great for those, but for this, it's a little bit cumbersome. Alright, so let's see. Now this, of course, was ordered straight through GVM. I did not pay the extra money for the shipping protection, so whatever you guys think about that. But I kind of cheaped out a little bit on that. Didn't want to pay the $5 for that because I felt that they were going to send it to me pretty well. I'm sure if there was issues, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they would take care of different things if there were big issues or anything like that. Nonetheless, it comes in this big carrying case, and wow, I think it's pretty nice. Which way do I open this from? Probably from this way. Oh good, so we do have the GVM on the front. Looks really nice. Let's open up this first thing. Inside the box there's nothing else, so it's any paperwork and stuff is going to be in here as well. We fold this over and we have 1 and we have 2 these bags, and I'm sure that they're going to have the light inside them. So there's a lot of, I think, padding protection in here. Let's see what we have here in our first bag. Pretty cold to the touch. Sure enough, we have our first light. So on the back here we have connections for the batteries. We have the display right here. There seems to be a plastic film over the whole thing, which is great. I'll probably leave it on there just for extra protection. Some buttons on here, resetting for the Wi-Fi mode, because it is able to be RGB. You're able to do all these different colors and things. The dials, they don't feel as high quality as I would have liked them to be, but they're okay. Nothing too crazy. You can change it to run on battery, or you can change it to run on the adapter power. I like that. That's kind of cool. You have just the adapter there, for the power source there. That looks really good. As far as for these guys, it should be the barn door setup. These are plastic, it seems, so nothing super crazy as far as build quality on these barn doors. They open up nice and big, and there is your light. And let's see, you can slide these. Whoa, whoopsie. Little foam piece there. You can slide this in and out, and then you can see all those beautiful LEDs in there. Very nice. So we have that, and I'm sure that's what's going to be in the other ones as well. So the question is, how good are these lights going to be? I think the build quality for these, and these are the 800D RGBs. It has the naming on the side over there, the 800D RGBs. So you have that. So as far as overall build quality, they seem to be okay. They seem to be relatively high quality. You know, would it be cool if the barn doors were metal? Sure. Would it be nice if, you know, maybe there were some other things with it that would be really cool? Yeah. I could see some ways to maybe improve the overall build quality. But for what you're paying for, and you're paying, in this case, just about $100 a light, or with the deal that I picked up, I got these for about $75 a light. Maybe even less than that. Because if it was $215, what does that make for 3? They don't go back into their sleeves as well as I would particularly like for them to be. It will slide back in. Okay. Nonetheless, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, so we have that. This second one, I believe, is going to be exactly the same. And it is. So that's going to be the exact same light. And if there are differences and stuff, I can make separate videos. So we have these two. So those are really nice. I'm going to turn it this way just so when I flip this over, we don't end up with a big mess. Alright, so this next one here. Whoa! Okay, so this is where there's a lot more in here as well. Okay, so here's what we got. We have a thank you letter. We have the manual, which I will be reading. There will be, let's see, a quality certification label. And we have here, which is the packing list, talking about the lights that are in there. Okay, so that's cool. Next, we have this, which is, yes, just another light in here. And seems just like the others, so that's fine. So we have our 3 lights. Then we have this thing. I don't know what this is, actually. Because we have the 3 lights already. What is this? Oh, okay, so this is the 3 adapters for each of the lights. So these are pretty big adapters. Each of these, I think, run 45 watts as far as power. Lighting should take up a lot of power, but because it's LED, it's not going to be too crazy. So you have those, which a nice, substantial, heavy piece of the puzzle there. And then, down here we have our GVM stands. Now these should be, I believe, C stands, and they're going to be really solid. I don't know if I like how these are all set up. I suppose all the pieces are necessary if you're going to move around mobily. I was thinking for like maybe just if you're taking one somewhere or something like that. I suppose these carrying bag things, I could throw this into the back of my backpack and probably be safe with it. I'd have to bring the adapter. I'd probably have to bring a C-stand if I'm going to use them a ton or very much. So maybe it is something where you gotta be thinking about all that stuff. I don't think I'm doing a lighting test. This is more of just unboxing, first impressions. Nonetheless, as far as quality, I think these adapters, they seem decent quality. Nothing like super scary, like super heavy, or anything that's super light. Now, as far as these guys, has the same kind of felt stuff. Okay, first of all, I have an interesting thing with touch, and I don't like the feel of these, the felt type stuff, but it's fine. It's totally fine. That's just a personal thing for me, but they seem like good stuff there. I would have liked the openings on those light stands to be made a little wider, but that's me being a little picky here. I was hoping and wanting to make sure that these are going to be high quality for sure. So let's see. We've got these that open up. Opening up. Okay. And yes, they are all the legs and pieces there are metal, so that's good. This is not like opening up as easily as I would have hoped. Okay. Maybe it'll be easy on the ground or something like that. And these are a pretty wide base, so if I take them out any further, you got it. So these aren't hollow. Well, they are hollow, but they do have caps on the ends of them. They don't do anything special like some tripods that would possibly have like a screwing thing at the bottom where you could make it a hard point or you could make it just a soft rubber tip depending on the footing you have. So you have that, that's good. You could unscrew this screw and make it kind of monopod setup, but I don't think you'd be doing that with like a C-stand setup. Alright, so up here, there should be C-stand. I've never actually used a C-stand before, but that's what I understand it to be. Also, you can unscrew this little top and you have just a 1/4 inch jack on top of that. That is really interesting. I really like how they did that. So it's C-stand, but there's also that. So then, we undo these. Just unscrew them a little bit. And that should give us the ability to go up with these. See that? We have another one. Whoa, I'm already to my ceiling. Okay, carefully putting this on the ground. Alright. And then we have another one. Okay, so you can get these pretty tall. And I don't have this like all the way opened up yet. Now it's all the way, whoa. Well, this is weird. Like it, okay, at its lowest point. At its lowest point, which is right about here, it still reaches way up there. It's still a good extension for sure. Now, with that being said, how does it work as far as the light? Let's take a look at that real quick. I think we will do a little test here. I won't get into all the Wi-Fi settings and different things because I think it'll be a pretty simple setup, but maybe I'm being a little optimistic there. So we have that. Let's get one of these lights out. And I think that my thought here is that, like, for me, I thought, whoa, this is gonna be like the most heavy-duty, super incredible, all metal, like insane thing. And it's not exactly the case. It's not like exactly as high-end as I would have thought it would be. But in my personal opinion, I think that if the light quality is what a GVM is toting as like the selling point for these, which is that's what you buy a light for, if they give me insane lighting ability, then they are totally worth it. And because you shouldn't be moving and bumping them and crashing them into different things, you should be okay. So this, all right. Whoa. Uh-oh. Hold on. So right here, this ends up getting unscrewed a decent amount. Cool. Gonna drop this guy right on. Then I can screw it back in. Okay, cool. I can open up my barn doors, and yes, these things can tilt the whole 360 degrees. You could take the barn doors off if you wanted to, but they're just there, extra protection type stuff. If I do tighten this down, it is able to lock the rotation. I am able to turn these, so maybe we'll tighten them up here. Okay, so we got that all taken care of. So that's all good. Next, I think we will plug these in and see how they work. So far, I think that this is going to be pretty good. You know, there's so many small, super inexpensive lighting kits that you could go for, and it can just be a real hassle, real issue when you kind of are just working with these different lights and seeing how that's all going. Let me get this thing plugged in real quick for you guys. Alright. So we get it plugged in. I'm going to just bring the cable up here for you guys. Get this thing plugged in. Nice. Alright. And hopefully we can get it on, get a couple lights, maybe see the RGB, stuff like that. Should be pretty helpful. Alright, so we get this. It's all set up there. Alright. Get this guy nice and plugged in. Alright, so it's nice, it's in. All set up there. We're going to hit it. Go into the adapter. There is a light indicator on here, so it does shine green when you do have power, so that's good. It's all connected up, all good. Gonna hit that power button. And wowzers. That's a breath of fresh air in there. And that's gonna be pretty bright. So let's see if I can adjust some different things pretty simply. So it shows here on the back, it shows the BRG of 100%. So that's probably your brightness. Next you have your CT, which is going to be your Kelvin value, which is 49,000 right now. It is on its mode for master, which means when the other two are turned on, they will follow whatever this one is set to. And then the channel is on channel 2. So there's different frequencies you can have it on and all that. So that's good. You can change it to Wi-Fi mode. Whoa. Do it to special light. So that was lightning. On rotate. So there's different like automatically set Kelvin values. But there's one that you can set it for that. So let's go to this. This is your hue. So I can change this to a high color. So this would be a very blue kind of fluorescent light, not something where you would look at this like an incandescent light bulb where you get that nice yellow, orangish tones in there. This is just a kind of nice white light. And then over here you can go down, and this is where you start getting that lower Kelvin value. And we can go as low as 3200. So this is a much more of a warmer tone and everything like that. It's like, hey, oh, that's pretty bright on my face. So that's why, you know, some people use them. Oh yeah, it's going to fill the room with light, and it's going to do those different things. As far as the different brightness, it goes down from 100 down to 9998, and you can just go all the way down. So we're going to... Okay. Okay, so this is 0%. That is allegedly 1%. So it's not a perfect sliding scale as I'm just slowly turning this up. It's not like a perfect sliding scale, unfortunately. And it's kind of disappointing that it's not as good as it could be. But in my personal opinion, I think that for what you're paying for it, I think you're still getting a good value out of the lighting that you're getting, and probably most likely you're going to want to have it at somewhere around 100%. And if it is too harsh on your subject, that's when you institute, oh, it's going to bounce off the ceiling and all that good stuff. So that's neat. And of course you have the different Kelvin amount. I can turn the Kelvin up pretty high, and I can, whoa, that's interesting. And I can do that same lowering. So I can feel a little bit of that lowering there, and it's off. So I think that's real interesting. Oh, that's super interesting. So there are these turn knobs. They aren't just whoopsie. Can we get back to our normal? Okay. Well, yes. Okay. So let's get this thing back, and we'll get it turned down to, let's say, 4,000. Okay. And we get it turned up to 100%. Now, what's interesting is these knobs here, and I was wondering why they didn't feel like super, super great and all that, in my personal opinion. Like, they're not like super smooth or something you might find on like a real high quality piece of audio equipment. But like, there's actually a button in here. So I can push this button and it changes to hues. So you've got Oh wow, hold on. Whoa, okay. You've got 0, and that's red. That's like a red color. 5, okay, 15. Getting greener and greener. Now it's more of a yellow, more to a green. Got your blues in there. Really blue in there. It's hurting my eyes blue in here. Alright, you got your purples. That's pretty cool. You got all the way to your oranges. That's back to your red, to your oranges. So at each stop, there's a slightly different tone, a slightly different color in there. So there's those different hues. I think that's really interesting to see that. Let's push this button again. This is your, hold on. We need to get back to more of like a, get back to normal. Okay, can we go back to Kelvin amounts? Okay, hues. Can we turn this, can we turn off the hues? How do I do that? Okay. So, we're back to master, but are we back to our white light? Okay, yes, we're back to our white light. Okay, so we got that. Hopping over here to hue, it's going to be changed to hue, okay? So then, let's see. So for the hue in here, you can change that. We kind of already talked about that in there. Okay, so that's fine. Totally fine. Then we can go over here to the SAT. So this is the probably saturation in here. So this is how strong it's going to be. So like that's 100 of red. But then you can have a little bit less, drop it way down, and get closer back to a white. And then at that point, it's kind of just a tint. This, you can still change the brightness. That's totally fine. Next, you have Kelvin value with that. Okay, so we already talked about that. Kelvin value is fine. Hue. The hue's not changing very much. Oh, I see. With the saturation really low, like at 0, it's not going to change if you shift the hue. So that's correct. That's fine. I put the saturation at 50% now. So now, when I change these colors, will I get... Oh, okay. That's just... Alright, so let's say we turn the channels of saturation way up. Then we get to see these huge shifts and changes. It'll be interesting to see how well or what colors I'm able to get, because sometimes I might want to go for a blue, but then I might want to turn that saturation down. So let's do that. So we go over here to a blue, and let's go back to saturation, and we're going to turn this down. Even at 70%, it really is shifting that color. Very interesting. It's just a question on how well does all of it work. And yes, Kelvin. So it's not too crazy. All right, now over here, is this a button as well? Okay, it's not a button. Wow. So I can pretty quickly get the color that I want. It's not super complicated, not too confusing. This up-down thing is for the channels, and I can change the modes to different things. You do have these. Okay, hold on. You do have these special things like the lightning mode. So how do you make the lightning mode go? I think that's probably going to have to use the... Oh, wait. So you have cop cars going. You have a candle. Oh, but it's like a flickering effect. Like, very interesting. You have a TV. Like I'm watching TV, and the scene is changing, so the lighting is changing. Okay. A bad bulb, like it's blinking at you. Oh, man. Party, like for an intro or like some kind of fun scene in a thing. Disco. What's the difference between party and disco? That would be a great question to know. Is it doing anything special? It is just one light, one thing. Paparazzi. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Interesting. Very nice. Lightning. Oh, maybe it's something where this lightning effect is rare. Maybe it doesn't go off very often. So like, oh man, it's so cold, and the darkness is out there, and the rain is coming down sideways through the sky, and I don't know. I hope there's not lightning. So I don't know exactly how to get the lightning bolt to go. I'm sure that in the app you can hit the button and it will do it. So I think having it in Wi-Fi mode will be so important to get those special effects. But it's nice that I can still set some of those, or most of those even, on here. So that's really nice. I really like that. And of course, you can still change the brightness and stuff when you're in those different settings. Oh. Never mind. So that's actually really interesting. So you have this, you can change these different modes. Then you can get to these special modes. You got lightning. Every time I push the button on the back, it does another lightning bolt. Now, because there's a little bit of that noise of pressing the button, I don't know if I'd do it. It's rare that you would use a lightning effect anyhow, so I'm not sure. Nonetheless, I'm glad that you're able to trigger it on the device. I'm glad you're able to do that, because that's, I think, is super huge. Switching back to this. Alright, so you have paparazzi, disco. Whoa, okay, so I can turn up the how fast they flash. Wow, sorry if anyone's sensitive there. I can change that brightness down if I want to. Let me turn that back up. Oops, hold on. Back to these special effects. Okay, so bad bulb, TV, special lights, disco party, bad bulb. Okay, yeah, so let's get back to just our normal master mode where I can select whatever I want and I can boost that Kelvin back to 45 or something. So, like, honestly, you guys, I think that something like this, if set up correctly, can be such a huge advantage to your setup. I think that this can open up a world of possibilities for people who don't have that good lighting ability. Because, yeah, I can wait for the sun to shine on me just right, but something like this can be so helpful if you're wanting to make content and you're not needing exact, perfect, natural lighting every single time. So, for the money and the fact that I get 3 of these, I think it's going to be awesome. I'll probably set up one over here, and then one over here. Trying to think of how to do it. Definitely one over here. Probably one off to the side there. And because these are rotatable, I can point them towards me if I'm over at that setup, and over here if I'm over at this setup. And then I could have one for filling the room, or one that I can take with me wherever I go. So, in my personal opinion, I think that GVM, great video maker, this 3-piece set on sale, I was able to pick it up for $215. I think it's an incredible value. And I think that for anyone who wants to be serious about making solid video content, they want to set up a good video recording setup, I think that this is a great option. I think that it could be a little cumbersome for someone if they're trying to run and gun and do different things. I haven't looked at it from a portability standpoint of what would be a great option there, but I think for this, I think it's an incredible setup. It just depends on how well can I dial in the settings to what I want, how much flexibility will be there. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!